Yeah, you know I'm on my, hey, you know I'm on my, hey, you know I'm on my, hey, hey, yeah, I don't never lose, nah, all I do is win, hey, I don't never lose, yeah, all I do is win, hey, this week on earth, 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 hey.
Welcome to This Week on Earth. This week we are doing things for the very first time a little differently. We're coming at you as a podcast, and we're going to talk about some not so serious things, and then we have a very serious topic today, which is the effects of social media. We're going to talk about what it does to your mental health, and ultimately, I think we're going to try to decide if it's a positive or a negative in your life, which everybody's different, but from our experiences, how that's going to go. But first, we're going to bring you a little history this week on Earth. This week on Earth, in 2004, on May the 6th, the final episode of Friends was aired. One of the great American sitcoms. I don't even know. Is it a sitcom?
Never watched it.
Never watched Friends?
Nope.
I think that's a sitcom, yeah.
I'm not into it. It's not a show for me, but I know that a lot of people are. Gage, you're the TV guy. What do you think about Friends?
I've seen it, but
Yeah,
it was a long time ago.
yeah. Well, a lot of people really love that show, and it was done in 2004, which seems like not that long ago that Friends was
me,
airing.
I would compare that to like The Office, and I don't think it's anywhere close to as good.
I agree with that. Got me some
But
Michael
other
Scott
people
on.
say it's greater or better, whatever.
Yeah, it's a lot of people's favorite show. But anyhow, interesting one. On May the 7th in 2000, Vladimir Putin becomes president of Russia. 22
year
years.
thing.
Yeah, 22 years. And look at him now.
Riding horses shirtless.
Is he?
He has.
I'm sure he
He
has.
can if he wants to.
He could if he wanted to. Yeah, that's interesting enough. In 1945, on May the 7th, Germany's Nazi regime surrenders unconditionally. Now let's think about this one for a minute.
Yeah.
What happens if Germany does not surrender and they win? What does life look like?
I don't know, but probably not great.
I don't think they would. I don't think they would have made their way over here as much. I mean, Europe. I feel like Europe would be mad different, but I don't see them like.
Nazis made their way over here and they lost, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Like in big places, like in big roles in the government. That is 100% confirmed. There were Nazis in.
I'm talking about military. I meant military conquest more so.
I was curious if you thought that there would be an effect on our daily lives now. You know,
when you think about it, we are interconnect? All the connections with Europe right now would be different.
Yeah,
for sure.
I get what you're saying.
FIFA, just fashion, just I don't know. Out of all the other countries, I feel like we're tied in with Europe.
Yeah,
I mean that's where we came from, so I mean, it makes sense. But
it's true. The majority.
It would be different though. I feel like because they would have control over everything over there.
Yeah, and I feel like that would mean a lot as far as our military standing. You know, as far as allies go, I wonder if that would have an effect on that, because obviously if Germany was, which it wasn't just Germany, obviously Germany and the Axis powers, but uh, I feel like that looks a lot different if they do win. Probably
think
isn't going to be. Go ahead.
I don't know. I just think there's no like it would be a lot of things would be different. Just the same way that, just about any big world event, like the geopolitically, there's no telling what all would be different.
I mean, there would be
Yeah.
no NATO.
Vastly different. I mean, who knows? There could be like there might not. You're probably right. I'm not saying that you're not. I'm just saying like
Yeah.
there might not be a NATO, but what might there be like in place of that? Like
Right.
you're talking with like Axis powers and all that stuff. Like
No United
who knows?
Nations potentially, and yeah, I think it would be
Who
interesting.
knows?
Yeah. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about it for now. But
For now,
America. In 1960, the first birth control pill was approved. And now they're coming out with birth control for men. Y'all gonna take
would
it?
you look at that?
Interested?
I mean,
Would you have taken male birth control at the age of 16? Like females do,
I mean, I don't know
Probably, yeah.
I don't know the science behind birth control with women and infertility. If it didn't have any effect, yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If there was no bad side effects, sure.
Yeah.
Be safe.
I think it would have. I mean, why not? It would have been stress to avoid, if you could take a pill to avoid a stress of the fear. I mean, because I had scares. I mean, I was terrified.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't. I mean, I didn't. I wouldn't necessarily say I had like scares of like
I know what you mean.
conversation,
Yeah.
but like it was a fear of mine. Like,
Right.
that I knew I
I
wasn't
mean,
ready for that. So I mean, if I could take a pill every month and nothing bad happened, yeah, why not?
True.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And in 1994, May the 10th, this one's my favorite on the list, I believe. Nelson Mandela becomes South Africa's first Black president. Pretty cool.
That's sweet.
1994. Yeah, that's a cool one.
I don't feel like we learned about him too much in school. I don't know
Nope.
too much about him.
Yep, I agree with that. He was mentioned, but
We didn't learn about a lot of stuff we probably should have in school.
amen. That's for sure.
I never went out. I like did personal research on other people, but I never did on him.
Yeah, I think he would be an interesting one to do research on.
Right down the road, we didn't learn about Booker T. Washington, and I bought a book from Goodwill, his autobiography. It's like real short, and I read that. Interesting as fuck.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I've read a little on him, but not as much as I probably should have, especially being in the area that we're in. I don't think I've ever even been to the Booker T. Washington monument here. Or is it monument? Is that what it is here?
Yeah. That's where he
I
was.
don't think I've ever
born.
been either.
That's where he was born.
We went on like a
He
field
didn't
trip.
live here long because he moved to West Virginia, but that's where he was born. I never
Yeah.
been.
Yeah, I've never been, but I need to check it out. I've mentioned wanting to go. Every time we go past it, Tabitha says, I planted one of those trees when we went on a field trip. And they're pretty big. So, yeah. All right. That's all my fun facts I have for this week on Earth and history. So I guess now we can get to the matter at hand, which is the effects of social media. And I do think that social media, especially in this day and age, it only gets more involved. I think it definitely plays a hand in everyone's everyday life. Some obviously take it more serious than others. Bauer's not with us today, but he would be a testament to that. He's literally deleted his Facebook like 15 times and, comes back periodically because he's just like, I can't stand being on there. So it's a shame we don't have his perspective today, but that he would have an interesting one for sure. As far as me, I've never taken it too seriously. Like I've never, I don't really get on there, and I see people's opinions and that I don't agree with, and I see things that I don't care to see and all that, but I've never really taken it too seriously where I'm like, it's affecting me mentally, at least maybe subconsciously it is, but I don't believe it is. But everyone's different for sure. And I know some people say that it has. I don't know about you guys. Anybody?
I'd say for me, don't really have a big effect. Like I don't spend a lot of time on like social media. For the most part, I post pictures of my kid, but I do understand how it can be bad. Like just the cyberbullying and people going at it. And I don't know, some of it's just stupid stuff, man, that people are arguing about for no reason. I feel like.
Yeah. The old keyboard warriors.
But I can't say I've ever been like so upset by somebody's meme or whatever to comment on it and be like, dude, that's wrong or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And you definitely see some messed up stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think one of my biggest pet peeves about all of it is just like how easy misinformation, like people meme something and it doesn't even matter if it's true or not, and it just gets, and like, I guess I've fallen victim to it too, you know what I mean? Like I'll see something like, but like I'm not gonna immediately get in these big, huge, terrible debates calling people all kind of crazy shit over something that may or may not even be true. That, I don't know, it's just stuff like that, and like how misinformation gets spread so quickly. So like personally, no, I don't really get all up in, all heated about Facebook posts or anything.
Right.
But as far as like mentally goes, like we had talked about it some other time about how like people portray, it's all about, you see what people want you to see on there, and like
For sure.
people think that that's the norm, or that's what they should be doing, or that's what this should look like, or that's where I should be in life. And like I feel like that can have an effect on people mentally.
Yeah.
As as a whole.
Absolutely.
I think Nick that we're talking about that.
Yeah. That's the scary part. There's scary parts to me, and that's one of them. And it's scary because it's how powerful it is. And it's like, how do you check it? Because everybody argues freedom of speech. So then like it gets tricky, because me and Sturge, we're talking about, like, my example is, say it's our mental that say you and your significant other are having a bad 2 weeks. And it's normal, right? We've all been there. We've had a period of time where things may even be questionable. And when you get like that as a human, you're sitting there thinking like it's all the bad things. You rarely think about good things in the other person when you're at that moment. And then you get on Facebook and you see, like he said, highlights. You see everybody, and then you, like, subconsciously, you're like, everybody's happy, everybody's good but me. You don't see that they could be doing the same exact thing, because it's a highlight board is all it is. So if you don't like have an understanding that it's not real,
yeah,
I mean, it is real, but it's not the full story.
Right.
It could just really mess you up mentally. I feel like now it has its benefits, but that's such a powerful negative for me. That's just scary. That's why like my whole social media presence has changed. And part of that is when I figured out I was going to be a dad, it changed too.
I like that you said it's changed, because I can definitely say mine changed from like just years ago, thinking about how I looked at social media and just posting things that I probably shouldn't have, I don't know.
For sure. Yeah.
I definitely oversharing. Like,
yeah.
Sometimes, I'm sorry, Stirs, you're breaking up. Sometimes we just say things that like we don't have no business telling other people, but it's normal. You see it and it's like, this is what everybody does. And it's like, some of that stuff probably should just keep to yourself. And it, like, I used to do that, I think, when I was young, like ranting and stuff like that, when I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree.
What were
Yeah.
you saying, Sturge? We couldn't hear you.
I don't know. It was we were
Okay.
off of something. It's all good.
Yeah, no problem.
But
Well,
then
we
you
know.
think,
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
I think our generation has a different take on it. And for whatever reason, my personal opinion is Facebook was the shift, because back when MySpace was a thing, like, yeah, I used to be on the computer on MySpace, but MySpace was a whole different vibe. It wasn't really a comparison of things. It was just like a your own chat room kind of,
Right.
and
You
like
make a profile,
yeah,
whatever.
and it wasn't like
Right.
a status of like you didn't have a wall that you status. Other people commented on your page.
You
and
did
then
have a
could,
top 8.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
like, but then when Facebook came,
That's a little toxic. I will say that.
Yeah,
when Facebook came, I first came out, I was in 11th grade. Not first came out, but when I first got it, I was in 11th grade, and it was more like grown up. So it was like, it wasn't really about it was just, we were taking the MySpace concept. Really, it was just people posting pictures, and they were like more trying to be more elegant pictures. And the status wasn't really like bragging about nothing. It wasn't people flexing at first. It was just people kind of talking to each other, just how MySpace was. And then at some point, Facebook turned into a place where you brag and stuff. Like your status is a brag. At first, it was literally
How many
like,
likes you get.
yeah, at first it was just literally what's on your mind that day, and then that's just what you said, and it was just kind of like a quote or like a going to a basketball game. And then it turned into posting 8 pictures with a caption. And, you know, like, I don't know, that shifted. There was a shift for me.
So let me ask you something. I saw somewhere where I guess it's Instagram that had made it an option for you to suppress your likes, meaning I know you've seen it on people's profiles where you see them post a picture and it'll say Nick Adams and others like this photo, and it doesn't show you the number. Do you think that if they did suppress like by default, that would change people's view on their posting, or do you think that it's too late? Yeah, I totally agree with that. I don't think that it would. They still see, what's coming in for sure, whether everybody can or not.
I mean, that's just like, we live in such a world that is straight up social media forward. Like,
Right.
you
It's
can
all
go
about
viral.
likes.
You can go viral with YouTube. You can go viral with CCTV, like completely by accident. Like, just all,
But-
it literally anything. Like,
That's the scary thing too.
That.
That's the scary thing too. I had a talk with this man when I was bartending, and he like made me think about it even more. And I was like, there was some point where us as humans, as a society, equate money or fame with intelligence. And that's so wrong, and that's so bad. People think that if you're really rich, or because not everybody who is rich is a genius. And that's the thing. So like, there could be somebody who's rich because they could build a rocket, and then now they're over here talking about tennis shoes. They don't know nothing about tennis, but people think, oh, they must know about it because they got all this money. No, they might know one thing, but there was some point where like fame and money, people thought that they meant everything. So that's the scary part. You can have a stupid viral tweet, and then you get all these followers and likes, and you actually have this power. You can pull people, and it could be the most ignorant person you ever met, but they hit that one viral thing and they got that lane, and now they got these followers, and now their message is being pushed to thousands of people, and they're ignorant. Not saying that's the case with everybody, but there's some point where people thought if you're famous or you're rich, you're a genius and everybody should listen to you because you got success in one field. That does not mean you know. What Kanye say? I love Lady Gaga. The fuck she know about cameras? You know what I mean? When did people start thinking because you are successful here that you could do everything? And social media kind of pushed that narrative up real strong.
Right.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, I mean, people like, I mean, even you don't, you can be an influencer and be a complete idiot and like people have political views and like since they have a following and they could be, and I'm not saying one way or the other about any of it, but they could be completely false either way, or they could be
Yeah.
completely outrageous and like just have zero factual basis. But since they have a following, those people don't, they just believe it or they go along with it. And I think that's dangerous. I think that's a big negative to social media, is that anybody can have a platform, and not everybody needs a platform.
No.
Not everybody should have a giant platform or the opportunity to have a giant platform by accident.
Yeah.
But that's where you can pull in the First Amendment, and it gets tricky. That's what I'm saying. It's too powerful to me. You can't check it without pulling the Constitution out.
Yeah.
Then that's scary. That's the backbone of the damn the government shit, and then you can't suppress it. Like you said, that's a fact. I believe. Personally, I believe it's a fact. Not everybody should have a platform.
But with social media, it's at the end of the day, social media is still owned by someone, which makes it a private business, which makes it, you can deny service to anybody for any reason. So, I mean, they can and have suspended accounts. They could do that if they wanted to. So, I mean, that wouldn't really be
the backlash.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, me personally, I don't care if they have to deal with it as a company. It just messes the company up, though. Like dealing with all that, they suppress this, they suppress that. Then you got Trump that went out and made Truth, which is like Twitter, pretty much same exact thing. But I guess they don't ban anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody owns it, and that's who gets the final say. And they're not going to do anything about it. But I'm just saying, it wouldn't be you couldn't say anything about the First Amendment if they deactivated your Facebook. You couldn't say that they're infringing on your First Amendment rights, because you can still say those things. You just can't say it with their
app.
with the product.
I think the fact that all of us have we're all ingrained as humans now to think about our social footprint on the social media before we make decisions, and it changed us as humans. I think we've all had moments in our life where it's like your social imprint, or if you did something, or you, I don't know how to explain it. And it turned into being policed by the public, because you can get your life destroyed if you get picked as a target on a social media platform. They will find everybody who's related to you. They will find your job. So you're policed by the public now too, which changes the way you have to move, it's just powerful as shit.
No, I mean, I definitely think there are positives to social media for sure. Like there are, we are more connected with people, which can be bad, but it can also be good. There are, people are able to find legitimate networks of people that are like them, whether it be, a group about anime or a group about a video game or, whatever. Like there are trolls and there are people that just try to ruin it, but there's some sort of more connectedness, which I think overall is a positive. Now, it like I said, it does get abused, and it can definitely be a negative thing. But all in all, overall, the connectedness of it, I think, is a positive thing.
For sure.
Because in the news for a long time, it's been, you hear about the bad things, and that's pretty much all that news has been or is here's what negative things happen in the world, blah 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 blah. And there's a lot of that on Facebook, but there's also a lot more positive things. You can see
absolutely
people that are doing good that you haven't talked to, that you're like, oh cool, that's that's what they're up to now, like good for them. Not like a flex post or anything like that, but I don't know, it's definitely can be a positive for sure.
It is. Like Facebook is positive towards me now when I made the switch to use it for connection with my family. But that was my personal decision. Like I got like 300 friends on my Facebook, and I don't add anybody. Somebody can add me and then I'll accept them. I don't use it like I used to. And that's when I meant like it changed. So like I figured out how to make it positive for me because I felt its negative effects.
Yeah. But that is really cool though, because it's true. You do have a way to connect with people from anywhere, essentially. I still have friends from back in the day, random people, that I don't really talk to anymore, but I see their post and I like it occasionally, and vice versa, from people that I met, when I was 16 years old in a chat room, or on like chat roulette or Omegle or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, or on Twitter, just randomly. And I think that's really cool. And there is a lot of positives. Uh, I love to see the birth of a new child. I love to see engagements and marriages,
Man,
and
it's a way to get support for causes too. I
for
mean,
sure,
get your cause
absolutely,
out. I mean, it helps. I mean, I'm not gonna say like I hate it. I mean, it helps me
yeah,
with the
yeah.
t-shirt. It helps me with the t-shirts. It helps me
With this as
get.
well,
I
we
mean,
could never even try this without it, really.
I just mean when I talk about social media, I think that it changed. I mean, I think that it changed my mental, and I'll never be able to go back to how I used to be before it became such an important factor in everybody's life.
I totally agree with you. I just think it is important, as Jimmy said, to remember the positives, because you can't just look at something from your viewpoint and say I feel this way about it, because there are people, I'm sure, who do feel 100% positively about social media, and I'm not necessarily one, but I think that is important, that it does bring about a lot of good things as well with the bad, like anything, really, I guess. But what I was going to say is, back to relationships. I think that social media is probably, I don't have any statistics on this, but I think that social media is probably the most detrimental thing to relationships. And I think a lot of that, you know, if you're in a relationship with somebody, depending on who you're in a relationship with, mine's not necessarily like this, but I know a lot of people are, that you kind of have to tiptoe around things. And, if you like if people like a girl's picture from a male, like, somebody's boyfriend likes somebody else's picture or something, or is even friends with somebody, I know that that can be a detrimental thing to someone's relationship in some people's eyes. I think a lot of that is insecurity or jealousy, whatever you want to call it, but it makes sense. Uh, so I think that as far as relationships go, social media can be an extremely dangerous thing, and I can definitely see why. I also think that I think that social media is also more negatively effective on females, because the influencers and the people with the likes and all that, you have these Instagram models and all that, and it's almost an unrealistic it's like an unrealistic image, or like the perfect body image or whatever. And I think that that weighs on people, as well. Tabitha she actually just did an essay on uh, linking social media with depression. And I know a lot of those, I didn't read a lot of them because I didn't want to get into people's business. It wasn't my business, but I did see somewhere they said, you see all these images of these females with perfect bodies, and all these pretty girls, and and I think that that does weigh. I don't look at another dude on there flexing a six pack and be like, dang, I'll never, that's what I got to be, or I'm just not like that. But I think that some men probably are. But I think from a female's perspective, I think that is kind of hard.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Go ahead.
I agree that it can be hard on relationships and things like that. But I mean, there's stuff like that everywhere. I mean, that's the way that that, like marketing works, and without, me and Chelsea and I have talked about like the pink text and all that stuff. And if you have your girlfriends, they know exactly what I'm talking about. And if they, they'll, I don't know. I just kind of feel like the world is, if it's not going to happen in social media, it's going to happen somewhere, I guess is my point. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with any of it, or, how any of that. Like, there is a certain body image that people, I guess, strive for, and that's what it's supposed to be, and that is portrayed everywhere. And with the relationships and stuff, like, I don't know, I kind of don't do anything sketchy, like I don't myself do anything sketchy,
Right.
but like if you don't do anything sketchy, then like
Yeah.
you don't have anything to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's,
Yeah.
I don't know. I like people's pictures. I like it. It's not even like a sex gender type thing. Like if I see one of my friends and she have a picture of her and her son, and it's just like, oh, that's a good picture, or like,
Absolutely.
whatever, like,
Do
anything
you
like that.
think
And I
that
don't in my relationship that I have to worry about, so I can't really relate as far as that goes, because
Mhm.
like I don't, there's a, I don't know how to explain it, but that's not, I definitely see where you're coming from, and I definitely understand that that's a problem and an issue that it can create, but I don't think it's just social media's fault. Like, there's other things at play there.
Yeah.
do you think that subconsciously changing the like star to hearts could have subconsciously felt more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More
I
sexual.
More
mean, yeah,
intimate.
but like,
Or
and I can't, there's nothing I can do to defend somebody or bail somebody out if you like go and heart react to this girl in a bikini. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
hey, what are you
yeah, no,
doing? Like, why?
I don't blame social media for that. That is, like you said, I think that's deeper. That's usually deeper than that. Like, it's that started somewhere else. That comes from somewhere else. But I just feel like social media makes it easy to open doors, and that's good for work, that's good for networking, but that's not good for a family. Because if you always feel like you got a door that you can walk in, it's like, I mean, that's like having a safety net. Like, you're good. Like, it's in a relationship, it could be I think it's detrimental to a family, because like, even in a relationship, even like you say, Sturge, if it's hard, if it's not any intention to you liking a picture, that somebody else, the person that picture you like, could take that as, all right, this person is interested in me enough to hit that like. So if they thought they had a chance, if they wanted to go at you, you already opened the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could lead to that. And I feel like at the end of the day, social media has helped people. I mean, it just makes people feel like, if you're not going to do it, somebody else out there will, because I'm posted a status saying how I felt and all these other people liked it. So there's people out there that will do it. There's people out there that will feel this. So like, any minor inconvenience could lead to a bad decision, because you got options. I just think it changed us, whether we say it, know it or not, just because you subconsciously, you're like, oh, these people are interested. Now, if you're like in an argument with your girl and nobody's liking your shit, you don't feel like anybody's on your side, you gonna up and leave her. If she, like, you know what I mean? I feel like if you got all these likes and stuff, you got people that feel like you'll walk out that door quicker, because you feel accepted.
I mean, I guess that is still so individualistic to me. Like, that still depends on the individual, because like, I'm not gonna think about some girl that liked a post that I posted about something stupid, like a picture of the golf course or something that I put out. You know what I mean? Like, that's not gonna be like, oh, she's interested in me and I got a way out. And I don't know. I just feel like it's all individualistic. It's all on the individual.
Yeah.
I think social media does expose those, or not. Yeah, expose, and also like blow them up, like make them bigger, make problems bigger than what they would have been.
It puts everything right in front of you.
My thing is,
Yeah.
I get that there are always going to be those outside, like you say, it can, if it wasn't social media, it'd be somewhere else. But I feel as if social media brings it home. You know what I mean? You have it at your fingertips on the couch, if that makes sense. It's one thing to go out and walk with your girl and check out a girl that walks by, but it's another thing to be on your phone with
Just
your
looking.
girl. And you know what I mean? Like, so I mean,
Right. Like actively pursuing something.
I just feel like without social media, it wouldn't be as much of an issue because without
Opportunities might present themselves
right,
as often.
not if you're home with your girl, you're home with your girl, and without social media, there are no outside threats at that time.
You got to put in
Right.
effort. You have to put it if it
Right.
wasn't right in front of you, you got to put mad effort to go put yourself in that position.
Right.
Now it's just there.
Correct. It's everywhere and it's always with you and it's in your pocket. You know what I mean? So I just think that that's why I don't put the blame on social media for anything. It like you say, it is all individualistic, but I do think that weighs on people as far as that goes. I think that's
It will
something.
show you people's true intentions and true colors, though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess
I
I don't
don't
know. I guess
think
that's
that
not
though. I think there's a lot of fake people on there that fake it,
If you
and
pay attention,
people think that that's what they're like, and they're not really like that.
oh, for sure. Like 100%.
well, I was speaking more of like people like it'll show my social media will show you if you know me, like it'll show y'all like I could say something on there and it'd be like, huh, like you know me though, so you would know. Like like these people that you don't know yet, but if you know somebody personally, I think you can learn their true intentions and their true opinions on their social media page. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting is how it can weigh on your career choices. And by that, I mean, people will see someone with a successful business. And Jimmy, this is again, Sturge, sorry, whatever you want to go by. This is again like it could be anywhere, but I think on social media, you see someone with an extremely successful business and you think, I could go out and do that business, or, or my business isn't doing numbers like that, or something like that. And I just think that can also get people down. It's great for your business if you are starting a business. So, I mean, there's a positive and a negative in that light, but I think that you see a lot where you have a lot of these comparable businesses because one, some people pop off and then I feel like everyone goes for that and it's not for everybody, but
Yeah, I don't think everybody should be business owners or try to have their own brand. Some people don't have what it takes to do stuff like that and work very hard at it.
yeah,
And then
for sure.
others just think it's supposed to happen and it doesn't. And then they wonder why they don't have the same results as somebody that's working really hard for years to
Yeah.
get where they got.
Absolutely.
But that's just because it shows the highlights. It doesn't show the hard work. Nobody
It does.
shows the sweat on their things. They just show the end product, which creates a false sense of reality. Which again, my whole aspect is I think it messed up. I can't say messed our mentals up. It definitely changed it, and I missed the old way. I guess that's me getting a little older. I do miss how my brain. I feel like it worked differently before 2012.
Yeah. Twitter
I
was
mean,
also way cooler before 2015.
You said Bauer did that, bro. I've deleted Facebooks and Twitters so many times.
Yeah. Yeah. Bauer would be an interesting one to have. I know Bauer really, I'm not going to say he takes it seriously, but he does, if he sees something about, I don't really have a good example right now. Biden, with gas prices or something, and that's all his timeline sees, it really weighs on him. Like, that's a terrible example because I don't know what Bauer's political stance is, but I'm just saying, if he sees something that he disagrees with and that people are flooding his timeline with, I feel like it really weighs on him, and he'll be like, I deleted Twitter because I was tired of seeing Biden's gas prices and people, let's go Brandon and all this stuff. I feel like some people really look at it differently than I do.
I unfriend people for if you're just constantly negative.
Yeah.
And like if you're posting your opinion about something, that doesn't really bother me at all. But if you're just constantly complaining and just, that's when I start unfriending people, just because that energy, I don't want it around me.
Yeah. That's definitely good.
But people's opinions, I actually like Facebook for that. I like sitting back and reading what everybody's opinions are.
Honestly, some of it to me is pure entertainment, whether I agree with it or not. I really rather, I'm that guy with the meme, with the Michael Jackson meme eating popcorn in the comments, like watching people just go at it. And I'm just like, I'm interested by that kind of thing, but yeah, it's not for me. I'm not going to get on and argue with it. And I don't ever take anything to heart. And I don't even judge a person necessarily unless it's like a really hot take or like really something that I disagree with. I don't really ever judge a person based on their opinions of something or how strongly they feel in disagreement towards me. But I think that it's something to pay attention to as far as, yourselves, posting something, I think that it's wise to think about the impact that you'll have on your friends or your family or, acquaintances, whatever.
I can say in my personal opinion that it didn't weigh by success.
Say that one more time. You broke up on us.
If social media didn't make its wave, I think I would be more successful right now. I think just the amount of time and that, like, I could have been doing other things. I don't know what I would have been doing. I think I would have been doing something more productive, but I think I would have been more successful. I wasted a lot of time on social media. I mean,
Absolutely.
if I count all the times I just scrolled through watching videos.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
And for us specifically, when we attempted the music, that was like our main source, the main platform we tried to use to get somewhere, when in reality, I feel as if you would be more successful if you would have actually gotten out there more, or we would have been more successful if we would have actually gotten out there more and did face-to-face advertising and, open mics and stuff like that, instead of, flooding the timeline with, stuff like that. So I think that's interesting for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. Hindsight's 2020 though. No regrets.
Well,
I think overall, and at least in conclusion, at least for me, I think that social media has a potential and can be more positive than negative, just because of I just feel like it can be bad. The bad things can come from the connectedness, but the potential for positive is better than that. Like bigger good things can happen than negative, I feel like, in my opinion anyway.
Okay. I respect that for sure.
I think it's like half and half for me.
Yeah.
Like, it has its positives, yes, but there's a lot of bad things that I don't like about social media.
I don't see the good that Facebook brings the world, besides your family being able to see your stuff.
Right.
Other than that, I don't see what Facebook actually could do that a phone call, FaceTime couldn't do when you come to politics.
I mean,
I mean, I like having
yeah,
people like
being-
pictures of my son and me and stuff like that. Like that stuff means something to me that my friends are liking that and family likes that. So that's like the positive that I see in it.
I think there's positives in the sense that like you are seeing stuff that is, people's thoughts and what people are thinking and how they view things and what their opinion is, and you can find like-minded people, and you can find people where you're like, I absolutely don't want to be associated with that type of person, and like
Yeah.
you're able to see like, you're able to see more communities as a community, because there are communities on Facebook that post a certain way and share a certain type of things, or like, and you're able to see, I don't know, I think it's as far as like diversity and being able to see how other people live, as if for what that's worth, not people flexing and showing off, but seeing like genuinely how other people live and how other people think. That is definitely a positive. 100% in my mind, that is a positive.
Yeah. And as back to what you said earlier, as much misinformation as there is, you can also educate yourself through that. I'm not saying that it should be your source of information by any
Right.
means, but some people do speak facts, and they do, have articles to back it up and things like that. And I think that is important, that you do get others' viewpoints. For me, I do think that in this day and age, social media is a negative. I think if used correctly, it could be positive, but in this day and age, especially on the youth, social media is a negative influence for me. That's how I feel about it, especially for the youth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
see
the
some
whole
like
thing.
really cyber bully stuff on there, man, and that stuff just is like,
You
what are
just
you
grow
supposed to
up too
do
quick.
about that? Like,
Grow up too quick.
Yeah. And the trolls, we mentioned the trolls earlier, but the trolls are a huge issue for me. There's nothing I cannot stand to go to the replies in a tweet, like a big tweet, and just see people, bashing LeBron over and over and over. Just for example, like, yeah. Speaking of trolls, some of it's funny, but you know, some of it is just ridiculous. You get on there and you see the same old stuff over and over and over and over. And that, I think, is terrible. Plus, you have the people who like mess with people, especially the older generation. I've seen a lot in Facebook. Like, you go to a viral post and look at the comments, and somebody will take something literally, and then everybody just be mad at old Betty Lou and be in the comments like trashing her and being like, I think that needs to go, but that's a long, long, long way off.
Yeah.
But I digress. Yeah, my opinion is negative. We've got a positive, a half and half, and I guess Nick was a negative. You don't see the positives.
I mean, I
Yeah.
do see. I just don't think they outweigh the
Yeah.
negatives.
yeah,
I agree with that. I think there is so much potential for it, though.
I think it was great on paper,
Yeah,
but it got into the hands of
everybody.
everybody and not. I don't know, man. Chaos. Some people are in power that just have no business being in power, and that's a dangerous thing in a world that's moving digital.
Yeah, quickly.
So you either got to learn how to put on your social media face and stuff, and like that's a new thing that you have to learn. You have to learn how to act on. You gotta even when you're just out in public. If you start wilding out, you're gonna end up on Facebook.
That's what I'm
Somebody spots
saying.
you, and you gonna be done for. You can't even move like you used to. It's. I mean, for the government, it's great because you got billion reporters shooting up evidence daily.
Yeah.
What's going on? I mean, you don't even have to pay these people
Yep.
to get these videos of crime to get these videos of just anything. Like
Yeah.
everybody got it and they work for free, which could be a positive. That's what I'm saying. It's on paper, it's great, but the world's not pure.
You're right about that. Wise words. Anything else you guys want to add on that?
Nah.
All was said that needs to be said. Well, that's an interesting discussion for sure. I'm interested to see what other people's view is on it.
I think dating
Right.
for social media is bad.
Yeah.
I feel like too many people get tricked and like conned out of money or something like that.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about
Darwin.
people
That,
meeting
bruh.
people on social media, and that's such a huge thing that goes on.
Yeah.
I don't blame. I can't really. If you send $5,000 to somebody that you met on Facebook,
I
and
mean,
then
yeah, I don't get
never
it.
met in
Like, I don't see how that happens.
That's all you,
but-
dog. You was gonna get somebody was gonna get that 5,000 one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just meeting somebody on social media and not knowing them, like in some way, that like knowing that they're real for sure, there's no way. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, friends of a friend that actually exists. Like, okay, like you actually know this person, like is real and shit, or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I know that they're real. Somebody from school or somebody that I met at this place or that place. Like, okay, but no way. Like, I would never be one to be catfished.
And if
No
she's
chance.
never
Yeah.
available to FaceTime, she's probably not real, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey Nick,
She-
I'm in a jam, and I knew Jim that knew Barry. Why are you reaching out to me, bro?
I got one of those messages the other day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I hope you remember me. I need about $700. It was literally like a stack that they needed from me. And I'm like, you barking up the wrong damn tree. I am paycheck to paycheck, my brother. You ain't gonna get. Yeah. I wish I
Even
could
meeting people, though, I feel like be cautious from social media, because like you see like the Tinder swindler on Netflix and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That dude met them people. He still conned them. Like, you can still be conned. You can still be going to like a psychopath's house. Like, y'all, people should be more careful of what they're doing on social media
I'm kind of
and
like
who they're deciding to meet. What'd you
You're
say,
trying to
JB?
get me fucked up. I'm just like I'm just with PZ on that. Like, if you're trying to rob me, then this is all in vain. You have picked the wrong person.
Yeah. You're gonna be highly, highly disappointed.
Yeah.
Bro, I will give
We
you my
just
social.
wasted
What
a
do you
lot
need,
of
bro?
time, bro.
You want to be me? Go ahead, bro.
Yep. Here's my bank card.
Yeah, here's my debit card. If you can buy something with it, let me have.
See if you can figure it out, bro. See?
Yeah. I'll tell you
Yeah.
my pin. You need my
This-
pin?
I accidentally put difficulty on the expert, bro. Like this shit
Yeah,
is like,
right.
You don't want mine. You need to go find somebody else.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure I have like $3 in cash in my wallet right now. So
Yeah.
you can get me out of that if you steal my shit, but that's
Yeah.
about all you're getting.
Like, I got this cool wallet tool that has a bunch of different things on it. Like,
Yep. Good business cards in there too. You ever need your lawn mowed, there's a guy for that in there. So
yeah.
well, that went down a path. But yeah, that was the effects of social media from this week on Earth. Let us know what your take is if you're comfortable. Also, you can message us on social media and let us know if you don't want to put yourself out there on social media, which is ironic about all this is because we want you to follow us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. But we're positive people on there for sure. We might post it.
We're just honest.
Yeah, but yeah, consider what you say. You're always in the public eye. That's how
I'm
I
not
feel
really in
about
space, by the way. I know it appears as though I'm in space, but I'm not really.
it. Oh,
Not being
okay.
fake.
Damn, I thought you really were.
Yeah, I thought you were using Starlink internet service.
Just want to be clear for catfishing purposes.
Yeah. Yeah. An alien. He'll con the shit out of you.
That's right.
All right. Like and subscribe. We'll be on all podcast platforms for this. So check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you get your podcasts. We will see you next week on Earth. And holler at us. Peace.